and welcome to episode 232 of the Talking Wednesday podcast. I have returned. It's me and Jake
like
this
Easter.
week. How are we all? You what, sorry?
It's like Easter. He's risen.
Oh, God. Yeah, he's risen. He realised that his hair looked a state and he's dragged it up into some weird ponytail that's got fluffy bits all over it. You can tell I've kind of got up. Go on.
You got the Andy Carroll look.
Yeah, it's gone. It's been a morning. I've got a really busy day as well, straight away. But Jake, before we get into the podcast, there's plenty to talk about this week. How's your week been, mate?
It's been busy, counting down the last couple of days now till the summer holidays over. I've survived just. Next week is the last week, and I can't wait to just go, yoink, your problem, and have a couple of days to myself. It's been stressful, but this morning was not great, as you know. If you've got kids, make sure they keep stuff on, and you don't have to clean rooms up. No, not what you want at like 8 in the morning.
Who, Picasso?
Yeah, pretty much. Just wasn't what I needed at 8 in the morning.
Oh.
Just even look at me going, hi. It's like, no, go away.
It's like, have you seen Daddy Daycare?
Yes.
It's where the child's in the toilet and Eddie Murphy kind of does the visual comedy and he looks at the ceiling and everything, like where it's gone. And that's how I imagined your morning had gone with the lad.
Yeah.
Deciding to paint the room.
My eldest never did it. She never did it. She was just like, I'll stay here. This day's odd. He, on the other hand, want to be and let it all hang out. It's fine. So it's going to be a right issue when he goes back to nurseries. Like, had he learned any new tricks and tips we need to know about? Yeah, couple. And he can get out. He can get out of doors now. He can open the door and actually try and leave. So we have to lock everything now. It's fun watching him grow, but he's also starting to say words. So I'm having to use kid language for swear words, and it's sometimes very difficult.
Yeah.
But
you don't want it to be that kid that goes into school with a gutter mouth.
No, because I'm already going to get phone calls or knocks on my door from head teacher going, he's done this. He's learned how to do a swanton bomb off something. It's like, brilliant, great. Let's try and figure out how we tell him not to do that. But apart from that, it's been a good week. Yeah. Looking at stuff around here, I'm debating putting a computer down in the house for when it starts getting colder, so I'm a bit more there in the room and like doing stuff, and then there's a home PC or something, so there's something there, because I've managed to have it that my missus has gone, I want to learn how to edit. I've gone, really? Ooh. That could be handy. So
yeah, it could.
So I'm just like, oh,
especially because the thing is, Jake, you know that we've talked a lot about the tools of editing.
Yeah.
But because of obviously the way your brain works, etc., with certain things, is you'll miss things on an edit or you'll do things and they'll go through. Whereas obviously your lass will have a little bit more attention to detail on that. So that could be interesting for your channel.
Yeah, it's one of them where it's just like, when she said, like, I need to start looking at things to see how I can make this work and happen. In a kind of bad way of going, this benefits me, but I'm all for people learning new skills. At the end of the day, it's helpful. We're always learning. How's your week been? Apart from busy.
So I went on some annual leave last weekend, and then my mate decided to get COVID. So we had to like change the whole plans. So we didn't end up doing half of what we wanted to do. Who gets COVID in 2025, by the way?
Yeah.
Just saying. But yeah, that happened. So we didn't end up doing half of what we were doing there. We just ended up sort of pottering about, doing little bits. And then I get in my car to go to work on Wednesday. And I get like a battery light come up saying check system. And I go, oh, great, cool. I'll do that later. Drive to work, drive back, it's fine. Oh, it's not so fine, actually. That's a lie. What happens is when I'm driving back from work, the whole car lights up like a Christmas tree. Goes check ABS, check traction control, check power steering. the car very much that doesn't want to steer because the power steering's gone completely dead, right? So look, I have to sort of like brute force it. Luckily, this happens literally when I'm just around the corner from home. I get home, sort of lift the bonnet, look at the battery. The battery's obviously dead. Luckily, the neighbour's got a trickle charger. I trickle charge the battery. I can get the car going again because when I got home, I basically tried to start it again and it was dead, which meant I knew it was the battery. Trickle charged it for a few hours, came back. It started once and then the battery completely drained again. So I was like, right, this could easily be a dead battery. But the problem I was having in my brain was with all the light up like a Christmas tree, with everything that was happening, it screams alternator.
Yeah.
Because it should have been charging when I was driving.
Yeah.
It wasn't, clearly. So with it doing that, I know the alternator can be a big thing for like making it light up like a Christmas tree and everything failing sort of thing. It also was bumping because it's got an electronic suspension, so it was literally like I was driving in a buggy. It was going up and down. Horrible.
Can you imagine the people behind you watching your car just go?
Yeah. Well, I ended up. Neighbour recommended a garage. Dropped it into the garage on Thursday. They wouldn't answer the phone on Friday for me because I knew they wouldn't be able to do it Thursday, but I couldn't. They wouldn't answer the phone at lunchtime on Friday, and I was kind of so. Bear in mind, I've now spent 260 quid for like a week of a hire car.
Yep.
Because I knew that bank holiday might be a thing.
Yeah.
I now only have this hire car till the end of play on Tuesday. They're not in tomorrow on Monday, and obviously they've not been in at the weekend. So I'm like, I hope you've got an alternator ready, and this is ready by the end of Tuesday. Because otherwise it's going to cost me literally at least £50 a day to just get to work and back with Ubers, etc.
Yeah.
And I'll be very annoyed because they said to me that they'd diagnose it on Friday and I didn't hear from them. And the annoying thing is I tried to ring at the end of play and literally it must have been the exact time they closed or something, because believe it or not, it's really annoying. Their opening hours were literally they shut bang on 5.
Damn it.
I miss my local garage at home. I know I can leave the car with them. I know it gets done, but and I was going to actually drive it back there a couple of hours on the, but because it's the alternator. If it was the battery, I'd have done it, but because I suspect it's the alternator, it'd have conked on me.
Yeah,
right, because it wouldn't have been able to do it.
It would have conked at you on the worst possible moment on your journey.
Yeah. I'm actually a bit annoyed because we're with the AA sort of thing. So I've got that sort of thing where I could have just like, if it had have conked like or even home started it, if I hadn't have known enough to get the car going again, I'd have basically got like a hire car from the AA and stuff. And I just was like, I've done it now, sort of thing. But yeah, so it's going to cost probably over half my wage this month just to sort the car out.
Lovely. That's just not what you want.
I've been in a great mood, and I'm going to ring them first thing Tuesday morning and be like, is this car getting done today? And I don't want to be that kind of person, but I'm also like, I am now, it was easier when I was back, near home, because I'd say to my mum and dad, I'd say, can I just borrow one of the cars? Because obviously they've got a car each sort of thing. I'd borrow it, they'd go down to one car sort of thing. I'd run around in that. And that's what I would do. I'd just jump down, and my plan was, if it was the battery, to alternate it, to just let it run all the way home and then take one of the cars and say, can they just leave it down at the garage and then let me know when it's done? But we weren't in that situation. So I'm driving around in a Corsa that I've spent like 260 quid on, because the thing is, you have to kind of take some of the damage excess, because if you go like Enterprise, it's a £2,000 excess if you get anything more than like a little chip.
Yep.
And I'm not usually one who buys into those sort of like sucker schemes. I managed to sort of finesse my way down 100 quid on the amount of time or something, which is probably like the line they've got. This is the lowest we can do it if we're still going to make money or whatever.
Yeah.
But because somebody dinged my car on the street the other week where I park it, I was like, I can't, because knowing my luck, like
it'll get dinged.
I'm just not having it.
No,
I'm not having it. So yeah, I've not been in a great mood, mate, because I'm still like, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm going to see a friend after this. I'm clearly a great friend, because he mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, and I completely forgot slipped my mind that he meant today, not next week.
To be fair, though, let's just put things into perspective. You have started a brand new job. You are in new territory in terms of you doing shift pattern, and your car decided to go conk. Let be fair.
Pretty much that sound as well.
Hey, I can be a car diagnostic person. But it's one of those things. Don't beat yourself up on it, mate, because at the end of the day, this stuff happens. The fact that you've managed to get it sorted to a point is better than no. You could have it that it's still sat.
I'm just annoyed, mate, because like I'm properly skint, and I know everybody's in that sort of boat, but like I'm in the boat where like I already kind of depleted my reserves a little bit for surprise tax, because I'm usually really on it with tax.
Yeah.
But my accountant, do you remember I told you my accountant told me I wouldn't have anything to pay in July because I'd sorted it in January?
Yeah.
But then I had a letter from HMRC, and she was like, "Oh, actually, yeah, you do." And I was like, "Great." So I depleted like my reserves that is, for that, and I'm trying to build it back up, sort of thing. But it's been difficult with a change of job, it's just annoying because when it rains, lad, it pours.
It absolutely does. Yeah, the moment you don't just get one thing, you get about 1,000 things, one after the other. And you're just like, give me just a little bit of a break so I can fix something. Like,
and we're going to a wedding next week, like week after next or whatever it is. So I need to make sure everything's right to go and travel there.
Is that a weekend?
I don't even know, mate. I know I've put my annual leave because I have to do all that now because I was working part-time 3 days, sort of thing, and self-employed for 2, so I could do what I wanted on those 2 days. But now because I'm back to 5 days,
you have to actually go to
it's what everybody else has to do again.
And go,
yeah.
Need this off.
So,
yeah.
It's in there somewhere. But it's other than that, I'm getting used to the job. It's fun.
You got to play a bit of the beta as well.
It's tiring, but it's fun.
Eventually.
I've not played it yet, but it is downloaded, yeah.
You've got till Tuesday.
Oh, God, is that it?
Yeah, Tuesday at 6 UK time. PM. And then it's gone.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll try and play some today.
Yeah. Are you working bank holiday?
I'm mainly on 9-5. Oh, no, I'm not. I had to switch to some late shifts as well next week so I can actually try and get the car. So I have to bloody walk to obviously get to the hire car place and the garage and stuff. So, been great. But yes, let's get into the football.
Let's talk about something very positive. Actually, it actually was yesterday.
So we're starting. Our match review is properly back.
Yeah.
I wasn't on the first match review last week. Sheffield Wednesday play Wrexham. Jake, as tradition dictates, talk me through what you thought about Sheffield Wednesday versus Wrexham.
We did well for a small period of the game in the first half. There were bits where it was like, do you remember last season where we would do like 10-minute spell where we'd be really good for 10 minutes and just then not have anything to show for it? It was that again, where we were really good for 10 minutes, played some good stuff, tried to get balls into the box. But again, our biggest problem is giving away silly free kicks. Valerie does not need to foul him there. He just runs him down the line and maybe it goes out for a throw-in. Or gets him to go toward the corner and then you have a defensive issue there. And again, it's our biggest issue with this team, and it's been for so long. Set piece goal, we cannot defend. The ball literally goes in. Iorfa and I believe it's Bailey run into each other when they're trying to defend it, and the new keeper come to try and kind of punch it or catch it or whatever he's trying to do. We'll get onto him in a bit. Not flagging the lad off, we need people as much as humanly possible, but Jesus.
It's really going to test me when we get to that section, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Carry on.
And then it's just a simple header. It is literally a simple header goal. And you're like, right, how are they going to respond from this? And you know what? We responded quite well. Head didn't go down. We kept on going. We kept on trying to build something. It was interesting that Henrik said after the game that we were playing a 5 at the back, and he said that they're not quite used to that in training. And we'll get on to what he did. So that could be what's kind of done it. But the second goal, my God, put your body behind. What was that save? To start, all over the place. Like, me in a nightclub trying to save it. It was so bad. I don't get how you don't get. Put your body behind it, done. And catch it. He tried to do some sort of parry, kung fu, Mortal Kombat code and failed. And it's an easy tap in for Kiefer Moore to get his second. I don't know what your thoughts are on that goal.
I am just going to say this. I don't know how we have got into a situation where our emergency loan is the fourth choice keeper from League One side Cardiff City. That when we played them and he was in goal, all the talk was how bad is this keeper. I don't know how that's our only option on an emergency loan.
I have a theory.
But that's what I'm going to say on that.
I have a theory.
Go on.
Our head of recruitment used to work at Cardiff. I just wonder if there's a bit of a no people still there and gone, who you got? That I can get in quickly in the next day or two. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I knew it was going to be bad, but that confirmed it. And I want to back the lad. I want to back every lad on the pitch that's in this situation here. But like, I'm just thinking like emergency loans. We could have done better with like a young lad from the Prem or anything, you know?
But a young lad from the Prem, he got to have played over 5 games. If he hasn't played over 5 league games,
what about like that? What's that? Is he still? Hang on, I'm saying this but it's like the names you've heard about in the Prem all the time that are literally designated for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
For example, right? They had that. Actually, he barely played. To be fair, ignore me.
Because the thing
I just remember that.
How much do we know that also that Cardiff have gone? Yeah, we're not going to take a fee for it because we can't put a loan fee in. So a lot of it's down to our whole situation, what's going on. So with that, it makes it very difficult. So first half, we did okay and we have flashes right near the end to try and get into it. But you're thinking, right, how's this going to be? And when they first came out, there was Henrik on the pitch talking to Baz and Palmer, and it looked like they were arguing between themselves, but I think they were just trying to figure out how they were going into it after the break. My God, that team put on a performance in that second half that we all should be dead proud of because they are playing for that badge.
Yeah, it was a switch. It was a switch of formation. It was the intensity was there, the passion, the energy. It was all there, mate.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think
honestly, I was very proud.
One of there's like a couple of standout players from this game. Barry Bannon, obviously, that's just a given. But Ingleson in midfield just doing the dirty work and being able to get in there. Charlie McNeil looking like a player who get a run of game times in him. He's going to be able to do this all season. Kind of thing. Yes, some people were going, yes, it's Wrexham, but it's Wrexham with quite a good experienced championship squad when you look at the players they've got. All the work on that first goal, fantastic. Really good play. Played it into the box, simple tapping. And when that first goal went in, you could feel it. You could feel that this was the change because they couldn't get out of their box. They couldn't get out of their half. We were just that in camp to trying to get anything. Ugbo, as much as we all want him to come good, he's had 3 gilt-head chances and he puts it either side of the keeper. It's more. And it just, he looks like he's got a bit of confidence because he's taking chances, but he needs to finish them now. I'm not going to go at many players because at the end of the day, we need them all on confidence. We need them to be fine. Olaf. I
will say on that last goal, the keeper did very well. The keeper made himself very big. He got himself in a good position. It was a situation where McNeil either needed to whip it round him.
Yeah.
Because if he'd have chipped him, by the way, the defender was running back on. So the defender would have probably cleared it off the line. So that required either a lovely curl around him or laces straight through it. Yeah. Whereas he went for sort of like he went for that, let's curl it round him, but he didn't get enough whip on it.
But Bailey getting a goal really good as well. Another good assist by Charlie. And we played some really good football in that second half and did well. They started to come back into it when Baz had to go off, which it just cramp. We're going to have this every game, by the way. We're going to have players that just cramp up because we just don't have the legs. We don't have the bodies. And first half, you didn't think we had a plan A. We didn't have a plan A, B, or C. Second half, it showed we can have a plan B without having to potentially use players and just tweak the formation a little bit. They did come back into
Cadamarch's goal was a proper striker's goal as well.
It was a lovely goal. And the thing is, what I liked about what Bailey said at the end on Charlie McNeil's bit where he nearly won it, because it would have been last kick of the game as well. He said he scores them week in, week out in training. He'll get it. It's fine. We know what he can do. So the fact that there's that confidence from them two young lads going, we can do this, says a lot about what's going on. And the amount of noise we made and the unity Wrexham have when they did the whole applauding and trying to just understanding our flight. Like, there's so many clubs that are seeing what's happening with Wednesday and the fan base is going, we're with you. And it kind of weird.
Let's talk about that for a second then, because there was talks about Wrexham obviously not seeing it as a political statement originally. Their fans, now Wrexham are a club who have relied on their fans and they have had their issues with ownership in the past. So their fans really didn't take too kindly with it.
No.
And I understand with documentaries, etc., you don't want to be seen as, if you've got like a board, they'd necessarily go, oh, that's anything that could be slightly controversial. Let's push it to the side. But their fans went, no, we're not having this. This is not happening.
We've been
pushed back. Yep. To the point where they got, obviously, the pressure went all the way up to like Rob Ryan, and Rob turns around, their owner, Rob McElhenney, and he goes, oh, we're going to do this. We're going to jump on with the £25 third kit shirts, black and gold, until it's sold in solidarity with Wednesday. It goes on the homepage. All the profits go into the supporters trust. It's nice to see that people care.
They're doing more for us than our own damn owners doing. They give more.
Because here's the thing, right? We talk about Chansiri being we talk about marketability. Wrexham are a marketing magnet.
Yeah.
And we talk about PR, right? Obviously, this is good PR for Wrexham, but it's more than that. You can actually see a fan base turned on the side. And Chansiri being such an idiot when it comes to PR and marketing.
I can see there was all it's taken out your mouth then.
All it has taken is showing how it can be done in such a short space of time, listening to fans. And it's an easy win for Wrexham.
Yeah.
And it's also twists it into this amazing solidarity thing. And it really was quite, it's quite emotional, really, wasn't it? When all the ground were.
When you also look at it as well in terms of it's what? They made 10K shirts available. So there was 10K of the unit they had for 25. They sell that entire 10K. It's like 250,000 for the truck, which can go a long way to do a lot more. And for me, it's just like, it's also very interesting that Chansiri's always said the kits are the price are dictated by the people that make them. Really? You sure about that one? Because he said this looks to me like this is an ownership going, we're going to sell it to what I want to sell it at.
Yeah, and it's Macron. And yes, they could probably take the hit. I do wonder where the profitability comes into that, because then it's a case of like, oh, how cheap are they actually getting these shirts in the first place?
Yeah.
Probably quite cheap.
Yeah.
I will say,
it just shows how bad
I really respect the way the Wrexham fans did it. They set up outside their shop the boxes of the shirts. They had them ready to go.
Yeah.
They immediately. I just look at Wrexham now and I go, they know exactly how to do things right for people. Football is about people. Football is about supporters. Wednesday are a club steeped in history, one of the oldest professional clubs in the world, man.
Yep.
And like Wrexham are, and their fans really pushed for us to have that moment. They joined in on the chants.
Well,
They wore the black and gold kits in our protest.
With the sign. Before the game, it was outside. And then when they got in, there was members of the Wrexham staff going, where do you need us? How do you need us to help? We'll hold this bit while you pin this. They get it. They understand it. And there's so many of our staff who have like that for our club, but are so hamstrung because they can't do anything. They can't say anything because of what's going on. And I get why they can't say stuff because it's your job. It's like, you know what I mean? You want to say something, but you got to make sure you've got another job lined up if you do. And a lot of the people behind the scenes are fans, so they're not going anywhere.
And I think I kind of just want to end that section on saying the way they did things, it showed a real touch of class, and this is what football is all about. So thank you to everyone involved at Wrexham for the solidarity there. It's going to be a process with Wednesday, but that sort of support, the more eyes on it, the better. And hopefully these sort of things that contribute towards the cause will eventually mean that we can actually get over this hill and see a change in ownership and a better future. So thank you.
But let's also point on something else. 5 points on the board. Hey!
In terms of the game, we get a point. So we're also out of the relegation zone, so stop the count.
That we're done. No more.
Let's do it. Let's go for stats then. So 21 shots for Wednesday, 7 on target to Wrexham's 11 and 4. I can see why some of their fans on the footballing side are getting worried now as well, because we're in dire straits, right? And they're like, oh, we've actually spent money.
It was similar to what they did.
I do worry for them because I love the story. Here's the thing that I'm going to see with Wrexham now on a footballing side. I think their manager's going to be a casualty of the success.
Yeah. But I think also...
And I think that's going to be really hard for them and the pivot into that. But their manager has gone so quickly up through the leagues.
Yeah.
He needs to hit the ground running and he'll probably get some time, but he won't get as much time as most managers who've done that for a club will get because of the ambitions of Wrexham. So I reckon he'll have a couple of months to start putting more points on the board.
I think for Wrexham, their biggest thing will be when they change manager, because it'll be the biggest call they'll have made since ownership, and it's where they get it right. And it'll be interesting to see where they go next after Phil, because he's done such a good job. Let's not beat around the bush. I think for me, it's also they have got a lot of players. They have to start.
I know what's going to happen to Wrexham. I can almost see it, right? Rangers are a massive club. They're having a right pop at Russell Martin.
Yeah.
I reckon Wrexham sack Phil Parkinson in a couple of months. I reckon Russell Martin is gone but from Rangers by that point, because it's, the situation's getting quite. Yeah. Russell Martin knows the league. Russell Martin has that style. I think it happens.
Oh, you're saying ambition and they want the good
Do
player.
not say Danny Roll.
Can you imagine if they did Danny? You can see it.
I could see it, yeah. They'd really have to gloss over how much Danny was snaky at the end of Wednesday's tenure though. And with all this solidarity talk, is that really a good look?
It'll be interesting to see who they change when it comes. But it's one of those things. I think it's a team getting used to the Championship, which is a completely different kettle of fish from League One to Championship. We know this. Like it's a big culture shock with how fast it is and how much you have to be on it. But you also just look at Wrexham as a whole. I think they got 16 midfielders in their first team. It's like, at what point do you need to start letting some of them go? But I think it's also the other thing, because of their commercial side, transfers ain't too much of an issue. Could they make a lot on the commercial side?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. They're also the profitability. Keep getting hiccups and it keeps making my voice go higher. The profitability is much better with Wrexham because of their revenue. Again, a club run well. But yeah, possession was fairly even in that game. We had 9 corners and couldn't capitalise. They had 3. They had the set pieces, and we're just so bad at set pieces. But it was nice to see Wednesday get points on the board.
Yep.
Barry Bannon ran the game. Barry Bannon,
to the point
at
that
35
he was
is he now?
shattered.
Yeah, he had to come off because of cramp, etc. Which just shows
Would you like an
the
interesting
man,
fact
the
about
way
Barry
he
Bannon?
works. Go on.
Barry Bannon made his first appearance at the racecourse today, 74 years after his grandfather, Tommy Bannon, first stepped out onto the pitch. Tommy made 260 appearances for Wrexham, scoring 104 goals in the 1950s. He's their greatest striker ever. So a bit of history there for Baz. And it was Baz's 450th appearance.
For us, yeah. That's crazy. It's crazy. And I actually feel for him that he's still having to run the show at 35. And do you know, I'll always remember him as my favourite ever Wednesday player, no matter like when he retires, etc. Because I just think now, like, Barry, you know the position we should be in now? We should be in a position where Barry's having a lot of the legwork done for him around him. He's seeing the club changing. He's seeing the youth come in. Like last season, in fairness, where like you see like players like Gassama and stuff come in, players that can do a bit more running, can have a little bit more of his running, etc. And he doesn't have to worry about it so much. Players coming in that might be his replacement. And Barry's sort of like living towards the end of his sort of contract with the heyday, you know, and reaping the loyalty. But instead, he's having to get into the trenches, pull his socks up, and do everything at 35. So, again, more mad respect for him. Let's pivot to the championship review, because it's been a little while. I don't think I've done one yet. Oh, no, I have. I've done one. Jake, you are freezing on my screen, so if you're talking, just let me read down the championship review, because I don't know why you're freezing on my screen, but there we are. The championship review goes as follows. It was Derby County 1, Bristol City 1, Hull City 0, Blackburn Rovers 3, Swansea 1, Watford 1, Charlton 0, Leicester City 1, so Leicester getting off the board with that. Preston 1, Ipswich 0. Ipswich struggling a little bit there. Wrexham 2, Wednesday 2, as we know. Southampton 1, Stoke 2. So relegated clubs not necessarily doing as well as they might think. Norwich City 1, Middlesbrough 2, West Brom 1, Portsmouth 1, Sheffield United 0, Millwall 1. 3 defeats from 3, or is it 4 including the cup for Sheffield United? Not fantastic at all for them. Coventry 7, QPR 1. This could be Coventry's year. QPR struggling again, but 7 goals. I think it was 5 at half time or 4 at half time. It was an interesting first half. Birmingham 1, Oxford 0. Rounds it all out there. So it leaves the league as follows. Stoke City at the top of the league with 9 points. Middlesbrough second with 9. So they've both got 3 wins from 3. Coventry a third on 7. Let's look to the bottom now. It's Sheffield United, rock bottom of the league. They really did well after sacking Wilder, didn't they? 3 defeats from 3. Same with Oxford. Oxford are just above them, though, because they've got better goal difference. QPR, 22nd. They've got draw, loss, loss. They have a point. Just like Wednesday have a point, we have loss, loss, draw. Better goal difference, which keeps us out of the relegation zone. Wrexham, Derby, us and QPR are all on a point now, so points off the board. The only 2 clubs that don't currently have a point are Oxford United and Sheffield United. So yeah, that's your championship review. That's obviously going to change. We're only 3 games in. Okay, Jake, it's been about 6 hours since the last clip you saw there. I'm in a completely different gear now. Apologies for having the rug out, guys.
Something very unusual happened with me. My internet just went kaput.
So Jake's internet decided to die this morning just as we were about to get into the news. So I said, let's do a pickup. But I obviously had lunch. I was in lunch even longer. It was lovely to see my mate again and his fiance after many years, unfortunately, because they moved down to Cambridgeshire way.
Lovely
But
part of the world.
yeah, it was nice to reconnect because we've been mates for years, sort of thing. So it was very, very nice and well worth it. I am definitely not going to the gym. I'm full of beautiful pizzeria pizza. We then went to a lovely riverside cafe that we have here, and I had a scone. And yes, it's scone. Don't even start with me.
How do you have the cotton cream and jam?
Cream first, then jam.
Yeah, good lad.
Yeah, that's the only correct way, in my opinion. My mic stand's falling off as well, which is wonderful. Literally, it's just gonna go and needs resetting. I'm gonna do that. You talk for a bit. What have you been up to in this?
In this
break,
6-hour break we've had, I've been faffing around with my internet, making sure was it just me, but no, my whole area, resetting routers and stuff. And I hit that whole kind of thing. It's really nice and sunny. I should be productive. And I was like, you know what? I've been putting off for the last 2 months painting the outside of my studio because it needs doing every year. I was like, do I have enough left to do the entire thing or do I have to order more? I had enough to get 3 sides done just. So I'm happy that I got it done. We've ordered some more and just spent most of it outside painting, and it was kind of nice. That's kind of the theme of my day, but for the adults for the males in my household today, but one actually used product and one didn't.
Yeah. I did bring up your child's Jackson Pollock at the at lunch. After people had eaten. Very amusing. Friends talking about being broody and things like that, and then you're like,
were you like, are you sure?
Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure about that?
And you've met my son. He's a nightmare.
Yeah, he was cute when I met him.
Yeah, to be fair, you haven't met him since he turned into the Hulk, who can break baby gate, break baby pens. I didn't tell you about this one, did I? We had to buy a brand new baby pen because he bent the metal bars to get out.
All right.
He's just a little Hulk. He's literally just a little Hulk.
Sounds it.
I swear he's going to be the one that I get phone calls from.
Is he going to be the one who gets arrested?
He's the one who's not going to have a college fund. They're going to have a bail money fund.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not really been much breaking.
No.
Last recording. I'm going to have to properly fix this. Give me a second, guys.
Yeah. A lot of what kind of been breaking is people basically saying they're not going to be on the engagement panel. Well, that's what they should do. We shouldn't be engaging with this chairman full stop. I get what the reason for it is, but at the same time, unless he's going to give us some information about what's going on and how this club's going to be run, because what you've got to remember is we're going into the 24th of August. I know it says September then. 24th of August, and this is when normally we start hearing about things not getting paid. So are we going to be in that another situation where it's another embargo? And remember, if we get another embargo, it will mean another load of point deduction put on, because it goes on how many you've had. And we could potentially have the situation where they just keep stacking them, because we still don't know what's going on with that. And it's just one of those situations where you really want to make sure that you get all your ducks in a row. And the thing is, for me, we have not heard from this chairman since the 12th of April. That is 5 months ago, when he turned around and said, there is nothing going on in regard to a takeover. I am not, these people put a really bad offer in front of us. Because it didn't tell us anything that was going on. It just said, I'm doing my best and don't believe this, this and this. But the issue you've got is the more that you don't say anything, the more you leave open to things just being in kind of guessing and saying, this is right, that's right. The fact that the communication from anything is just so good is just ridiculous, because we're not wanting to know the ins and outs, but we want to know at least the basics. Have you got cash here? And the problem is that the EFL are not bothered unless we don't do games.
I think even if we have a situation where we do pay the wages this month, which I'm not convinced we will, I think we're still in for an embargo. I think the only reason we haven't had one, of points deduction, I think the only reason we haven't had one is because he appealed.
We're definitely getting a point deduction. There's no way we don't get a point deduction. We broke the rule 3 times since May.
It's only because we're in an appeal process that it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. And the thing is, we could have it. Can you imagine if they would be very Wednesday if it happened? Sheffield Wednesday have appealed their thing from -12 to -8. Next day, Sheffield Wednesday embargoed again. Can we just put those other points on, will you? That was a wasted time. The thing that's getting me as well is like, it's like the whole charges against him. And I get the rules are that everyone's agreed to it in the 72. This is what happens. You agree to rules. Fair enough. We broke the rules. I'll get that. But I will never like an institution that puts the punishment on the fans and the club and not the person owning it. That's what gets on my weight.
Yeah. I think this time, because he's done it before, right? This is on the EFL.
Yeah.
If this was an isolated incident, then yeah, but this should be more of a case of, hang on, we've let this happen before. They got deducted. They get relegated. It's happening again. This is on us.
Yeah.
We should have sorted this out with this ownership. The fact that this is happening again is an institutional issue within the EFL. And that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And yes, the club are going to get a points deduction from the EFL and we're going to get relegated again. Even if we manage to stay up on sporting merit, which we probably won't do and it'd be a miracle, we're going to get relegated because there's going to be a points deduction coming.
Yeah.
So I do think this is a clear lack of, do you know what would be a statement? Look, we're going to get relegated either way here, but what would be a statement is if the EFL didn't punish the club in terms of the points and actually used as an example of this owner had his chance, and we're punishing the owner, and the owner is losing his shares or whatever it is and is unable to continue at the club, and we're basically putting our foot down here that this is unacceptable, but they won't do that.
Again, the thing that I still have, and it's stupid that I'm saying this, and some people will disagree with me, some people will agree with me. The only reason why I'm still thinking that there's a little bit of hope that there's something in the work with the wording in the statement, with helping in trying to sell. And I'm just wondering if it is that complicated sale process because of the way he set it all up, that they're just going, we're having to take as long as humanly possible to make this work, to get it to actually happen. Because if there was no sale talk, you wouldn't put that line in. That line would not be there. It would be something as like, this is what's being done and nothing about sale protest. We're working with the club. But it's the fact that they spoke very clearly about a sale in their own statement.
Yeah. Let's go into the news then, shall we, mate? So this is where we were getting to. We kind of know all of this, so I'm just going to quickly go through it. There is an article about Charles getting injured. We know Charles is injured.
Yep.
We've had to do an emergency situation. We don't know how long for, but it's going to be the next clutch of games. It's been described as the injury for Charles. Let's be honest, this is a massive crisis because we've got Stretch on the bench, but nobody else counts as really a professional goalkeeper. Really? No. I mean, because they haven't had the experience.
Barrett would have done, but
so that's why we were due for the emergency goalkeeper. And
well, that's the thing though. Barrett's injured as well. He would have been classed as that professional standard, but he's injured.
Yeah. And we've brought in Ethan Horvath from Cardiff, who is an American international, and we've got him till January 2026. He's got 10 caps for the USA. And
I think he played 140
he left his native
games.
Colorado to pen his first professional contract with Norwegian side Molde in 2013. He was there for 4 years, then moved across to Belgium, signing for Club Brugge. So he's got some good clubs on his resume. He's had Champions League experience, Europa League experience before he switched to England, initially with Forest on loan and then on loan to Luton. Horvath was the cornerstone of the rearguard as the Hatters secures the promotion to the Premier League via the playoffs in 2023. He signed for Cardiff the following year and now joins Wednesday for the next level of the football journey. Was he the keeper when Luton got promoted? Surely not.
Yeah, he was goalkeeper when they got promoted.
Has he just had that bad a season into this season?
Yep. And do you know who brought him in at Mould?
Go on.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. When he was manager.
Right. Do you know what, though, guys? I'm looking at this now, and I can see on paper why we brought him in. Every Cardiff fan was saying he was like fourth choice down the pecking order.
Yeah.
But that's because he's fallen to it.
Yeah.
Because he did. He was pretty much ever present. 44 appearances for Luton when he went in there via the playoff, when they got promoted via the playoffs.
You've also got to look at
Cardiff
what
on a 3.5 year deal.
And Cardiff went down, didn't they? So they're starting a complete rebuild and everything. Because you've got to remember, he will have come in when they had a new Cardiff manager. So maybe the manager brought him in or whatever, and then that's gone down the line. I think if you look at Cardiff, I think they're trying to do a more youthful side. But you've got to remember, how many games has he played in pre-season? And how many games have he played? So he'll be rusty.
Yeah, and he only played 17 games for Cardiff last season. So he's not been the first choice at Cardiff. He wasn't in their first season either, so it's interesting that they signed him. But maybe he does look before that like he's had a really good season. And it's probably, if you look at Luton Town squad in that promotion season, etc., it's probably the defence were quite good.
Yeah.
The defence in front of him. So it makes you look better. And then Cardiff have described him as a disaster when they've been talking to Wednesday fans. And I think we can see from that first game, Jake, it looks that way. Now, I'm going to back the lad. He's the Wednesday goalkeeper until Charles is fit. But do you know what? On paper, I can see it. You think, right, he got promoted from this league 3 seasons ago, and we brought him in as an emergency loan. What a coup. But why wouldn't Cardiff in League One, even with a young rebuild, have a 30? He's not that old for a keeper, 30-year-old. No. Why would he not be their first choice in League One? Why wouldn't other people be sniffing around him if he had kept that form for the 2 years, but he hasn't?
No.
So, and I think we could see why in that first game, probably why his stock has fallen massively.
There was some good bit when he got into the game. In second half, he made some good saves, came out and caught it. But the problem is what you've got is, you've got a keeper who probably not had much of a pre-season playing games. You've got a front 4 or 5 who have had hardly any pre-season because of what's happened. You're coming into a situation where the players are about out of clue of what's going on as much as you are. And I think you throw all that in, it's understandably where kind of some of the issues happen. But also, remember, we don't have a dedicated goalkeeping coach for the first team at minute.
Yeah. We don't have a lot of first team coaching staff.
No, it's all the under 21s.
I do worry about the defense massively. If you look at it, the 3 centre back at the start of the game against Wrexham, right? They all started as fullbacks, played fullbacks for many of their career. I know Iorfa's like
Valerie Iorfa,
more of a centre back now.
Palmer. Yeah.
But if you look at Max Lowe and Palmer, they're fullbacks.
Yeah.
You know,
but
Palmer has played in the centre back role, but Lowe is a fullback.
Look to your bench. It's Weaver, Otto-Bio and Johnson. It sounds like Otto-Bio wasn't picked because he was just knackered still.
Yeah.
And
because Otto-Bio would have been my choice in there and have Lowe as the fullback. I don't think Kabachi was terrible against Wrexham, by the way. I just don't think he was. Don't think he stood out.
He was.
But he wasn't as bad as he was in the cup.
Bad in the first half. First half, he was bad because he was having to play as a wing back, and he's not a wing back. Second half, he was a much better because they gave him a bit more of a role, managing. I think one of the biggest things that I like about him, because he's quite direct and he can get at people when we've seen it. My biggest issue with him is he's still very slight, so he's easily bounced off the ball. But if he can use
and his reading of the game isn't brilliant, I've noticed.
There were times in that game yesterday where you were pulling your hair out. But what I liked at the end of the game, Bannon made it his thing to go to Kabachi, put his hands on his shoulder, we do this. But you could see the like captain going, this is what we do, we need to improve. But at the end they're going, good job, let's improve. And I think that's the bit of Bannon we don't see enough of on the pitch. And I think he's slowly bringing that into his game. Because I think he's realising some of these lads are going to need that. I'm going to have a go at you, but once the game's done, we're going to have a sit down and go, right, we'll do this better. But the problem you've got with Kabachi is like, who else? Who else do you bring on? Because if you start using some of the younger
lads, Jamal Lowe as a winger.
Yeah, I wasn't that pleased when he came on as a striker, but I understand why they did it.
Yeah. But yeah, let's move on to the next news story. So this is from the Star. Sheffield Wednesday's ex-Leeds United defender Romario Collins completes deal to join Manchester City. Basically, I'm not going to read the whole article. This is another youngster going to the Man City Academy. It's another cash deal. It's going to be nowhere near what we got for the young Cads lad.
No.
But it's more money in the coffers to go on the wages if they get paid this month. And it's not going to cover it all, but there'll be an upfront fee there. I reckon this is going to be close to Compo, though. I can't imagine it's
I think this will be close to Compo. I think the thing is, a lot of people lost their mind on this one, but this is just a state of general football in a whole. Like, you have a good player.
Always happen.
You have a good player and you don't have the resources to keep them, or you're not able to get it. This is just modern day football at its horribleness.
It is, but I will say the concern I have got with it is the fact that usually that money would then go back into the right areas of the club for growth. In this situation, it's going just to
going straight
meet
back out
wage
the door.
bill and etc. It's going for literal to sustain the club rather than grow the club.
And here's the thing with Caelan Cole Calmartri, he's been called up for under-19 Scotland team. And we're going to hear that name going forward and we're going to get annoyed every time. But at the same time, if he gets in that City team and does well in the City team, he will do oyster. And same for Collins. And the thing is, yes, this is annoying. And normally you want it put to one side, then you can reinvest and get the next lot of youth in and the next. But I think it hurts more because we know we're not seeing any of this.
Yeah. That's why I'm actually loving seeing Bailey in the side.
Yeah.
I'm loving seeing Bailey up top. I am all about Bailey Cadamartri this season.
I was also really happy that I got to use my give up McNeil button a lot yesterday because that lad looks like he got bit between his teeth. He looks like he's ready to prove some people wrong. And I think in our situation we're in, more of that, please, Wednesday lads. More of that. It'll get you far.
I mean, we could really do with just a solid centre-back in there as well.
We still got Bernard to come back once he's fit, but it's how quick and how much he can get fit.
Do you know what I'm saying, though? Like, if we were in this situation, we could have really pushed on this season. Because think about, like, Mark McGuinness, right? For example, is still 24 years old, but he's playing in League One for Luton at the minute. Yeah. We could have gone in for a fee for him, and he loved playing for Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly.
We could have. This is what I'm saying. This is how very different the Wednesday summer could have looked at. We could have been spending $1 million on him or something, or I don't know how much. Probably signed him for more. Knowing
I think they signed him for. I think it was 10. It was a lot. I remember.
How much?
I think it was a lot. I want to say that doesn't sound right. It was a lot when they got him in.
It says a significant sum. I thought it was a couple. I didn't think it was that.
I thought it was a lot. I thought it was more, and I was like, when I heard it, like, how much?
Oh, it's £10 if the add-ons are met. £10, 10 million if.
Oh, is it £10? We can afford that. We can put that in, James.
Yeah.
Come on, get
it could be worth 10 million, but that's if certain criteria were met, which I think meant like going back to the Premier League, but they double dropped, didn't they?
Yeah.
it's rumoured that the fee was, all right, forget I said that. But the same sort of centre-back, I think they paid about 6 or 7 for him, it looks like, with add-ons. But Cardiff didn't reinvest that very well, did they?
No. A lot of theirs went back onto paying managers.
Either way, we could be having a very different transfer window where we could be spending a bit of money.
I have a player who we should go for. It would have to be a loan, and the other team would have to cover everything, which is Nottingham Forest. What if we go for Josh Bowler, right winger?
Yeah, I mean, we need numbers. And anyone in that situation. Do you know when we go back to the goalkeeper situation here?
Yep.
Fraser Forster's a free.
Yeah.
Right? Fabianski's a free. There's these people we could have... I know they want probably wage structures and things like that, but their age, to keep them in football at their age, there's more of a chance of like just bringing an experienced keeper for a few months, give them a short deal or give them a year deal and just have them in here.
Yeah.
Rather than going this route.
Guaranteeing it though,
but then you go, oh well, what if Charles is back? Charles is going to be the number 1, etc. But hang on, let me.
You only want to have
broke
someone
earlier,
in.
but I was looking at the list of free agent goalkeepers, and I was like, there's a lot here.
There's a lot you can use. By the way, you were right earlier about the Russell Martin thing. By the way, one of the players refused to come off the pitch for a sub.
Oh dear.
I think you might be right there on that one,
it's
mate.
not going to last. Yeah, it's not going to last, that.
No.
So free agent goalkeepers. Matt Ryan. I'm just trying to say names I know. Fraser Forster. There's obviously Fabianski, as I mentioned. Alfie Whiteman that used to play at Spurs and went on loan everywhere.
Yep.
There's a free market there. Thomas Vashlik, I've used him on FIFA a few times, sort of thing. I mean, I'll read you the list. You might know more about these. There's Von Vogo, Matt Ryan, Fran Viets. There's Lomaev, Dasmus, Hewin, the Brazilian, Dimitri Bertard, Jean, just Jean or whatever he is. Moreira, Pacio, Rui Patricio's a free agent.
Jesus.
37.
It is that stupid thing where there was a lot we could have gone for, and like I said earlier, I just wonder if it was a case of I need someone in now, I need someone in quick. I still got a connection with Cardiff. Who you got?
Oh, it absolutely is. I reckon it's a month thing. I reckon it's Charles will be in after the month.
Yeah.
So we might as well just do that. My worry is, we'll get this emergency loan keeper in and we'll sell Charles so I can keep hold of the club.
Yeah. I get that, but
he can't do that. There's no way that can happen.
I think for Charles, he better stay in here because he can get 13 football. Yeah,
he's also injured. He's not going to go while there's an injury concern.
Yeah, because you want to make sure that injury fine and then not get something where it's constantly happening or re-injuring if you're a team buying. It's like a lot of it gone very quiet on him in terms of bids and stuff. And I just hope we're not sitting here deadline day going an hour before it shuts going, we've accepted this bid because this will bring us in X amount more players. That's my worry.
I've got so many worries, mate. Right, let's go on to a topic about people coming in. This is from the Star. Coaches likely before players at Sheffield Wednesday as Owls grow closer. The quest to strengthen Wednesday's coaching ranks goes on. New boss Henrik Pedersen spoke at his opening press gambit earlier this month in hope that additions could be made to the coaching team as soon as possible, though things have proven more complicated, and as of yet there have been no confirmations, with under 21 staff Andy Holdsworth, Giles Coke and Ben Ledger continuing their work up with the senior squad. Pedersen said from the outset that his backroom team would consist of a mix of new faces and existing Wednesday figures as he looks to continue building on what has developed into a tight-knit community at Middlewood Road. amid an ongoing crisis around it. Over the weekend, the Danish coach said he hoped some new coaches would come in sooner rather than later, and that work was ongoing on that front, though he could not put a timescale on any likely appointments. There's a talk of players in here, talk about Pedersen saying patience, we need to get the right player in, right coach in, etc. Another quote from him says, we are in a situation trying to make the best out of every day, but we're also thinking, how could the organisation look in the future? I want to open doors to the academy, pre-academy for players and for coaches. It's very important that we make a mirror and give young players the best possible start in the same way of playing. It doesn't mean the same information, but the principles. The dedication of the coaches has been really, really good, and we can give back to the 21s and the under 18s, but the club is going to be small right now, and we are growing closer together. We are in the process not only for coaches from outside, but also develop our coaches inside the club.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I kind of like that.
I do like that. We are literally so brassic that what he means by that is everything is compact at the minute. You've got the academy pretty much with the senior because we don't have enough coaching staff. It's all spread. Which is good for close-knit and everybody rallying towards a cause and being able to the manager to get an eye on young players, etc. And that's why you'll see young players in next. We've not got a choice.
Henrik did a lot of watching the under-21 last year as well and the under-16s. He was very ever-present at a lot of those games. So I think there's already a connection there from doing it. What you can tell from Henrik, he just loved football. He's a football guy. He loved football. Yeah. I've heard stories about people seeing him just standing on the sidelines at Sunday League games watching football and just actually just enjoying and soaking it in. And the thing is, when you get a manager that's engrossed in football like that, it helps. And the thing is, what Henrik does really well is a very calming presence when he comes to speaking. And right now, with everything we got going on, we need that more than anything as a fan base. Just to have that one person going, look, this is this, and in his own kind of way, make little jokes or say little anecdote is what we need. We need coaches, we need players, we need the man at the top to off.
Do you buy into this rumour that was around on Twitter where, because I'm going to talk rumours now, where somebody said basically he had coaches lined up, but Chansiri wanted a 50% relegation wage drop clause, you know, in there, which then people were using to spin that, oh, that's a man that's not going to sell the club. He wouldn't be looking that far ahead, etc., etc. Do you buy into any validity in that, or what's your thoughts?
I can see it, but I don't think you have. I think the thing is, what got me is I don't think Henrik stays unless he knows something's happening. Genuinely, I don't think Henrik stays unless he knows something's happening behind the scenes. Unless he's that dedicated to the player, which he could be, and the fan base to go, I'm coming in while everything's going up. And I think I can see it because of what the man is and how the man operates. But at the same time, he surely knows that he's got to bring people in because it's going to be stretched. Even DC isn't that stupid to go, I can't give you this. You've got to give a bit of give and take, or you're going to have it where you're going to have no one here. And then that makes it look even worse on him back home and wherever. The fact that the pressure is now ramped up in his home country helps. I can see it and I understand it. But I also think whatever deal there is to try and get this club, I think it's ever so complicated. I don't think we are an easy deal. I think this is harder.
Yeah, I think that's an understatement. I think it's dreadful. Like, there's nothing attractive about this club. And if he has stuck his oar in and said, "Oh no, you need this relegation clause and things like that," it would almost be who the hell would sign that, Jake?
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna get relegated.
We are going to get relegated. So it's like, well, you damned if you do. You might as well just go get someone who's going to coach in League One prior to us.
Yeah.
The problem he got, if he does say hypothetically stays on, right? And he is clinging on and we get relegated. What happened when that group comes in and goes, right, we're going to offer you this for it, and you said you'll only get a League One club, and then he turns it down? Then what?
I just think the EFL have to do this new governance thing necessarily, not the EFL. You just slap in there and sort it now.
It wouldn't surprise.
Don't even get me started on the fact that there was Chansiri family at the ground the other day. By the way,
yeah, it's.
I'm not one for attacking family, but it's not a good image, is it?
No, that was on Monday as well. Because people try and say, "Oh, they were here 21." No, that was Monday because the under 21 were playing, and you can see it behind them.
I just think the optics aren't good. Anybody with that Chansiri name that's related to him in any way should not be anywhere near this ground at the minute. Not should be anywhere near this club. They need to get as far away as possible.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, you made it so bad that it's not your fault that I think it was his niece and nephew or something in that nature.
Oh yeah, it's not their fault, but
it's not their fault, and we should be, as a fan base, be able to go, we welcome everyone, but because of what he done, we don't feel like we can do that for you anymore. And
they are more than welcome to come to Hillsborough after he's gone.
Yeah.
But using the privileges of the club and being let's have these pictures in the stadium, etc., things like that. Oh, look at this club with Chansiri plastered across here. Yeah. Not good optics. I'm sorry.
Yeah. With everything and the thing is I got is, I don't know, and it's going to sound really bad when I say this, I don't know if it was baiting and not realising, and they've done it on purpose, going, oh, look, we still got this. Or it was a genuine accident that they didn't know.
Well, if they don't know, it just shows the ignorance, doesn't it? It shows the ignorance that surrounds that family.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, makes the family look even worse.
Oh, yeah, God, yeah.
But yeah, I felt like I had to say something about that because I've been one saying don't message the family, don't do all of that sort of thing. But also the family need to have the common sense to not do something like that when everyone's very angry at anything to do with Chansiri.
He can't come out. It's very hard for him to come out and say don't attack my family when they do that, and not at fans of some validity that will do it. Do not do it because you're giving him more ammo. Like, generally, don't do it. Don't give him the ammo. But I can see why fans will. Because it's just a slap in the face.
I'm just surprised they were even anywhere near the ground. And they probably only got away with it because it wasn't Chansiri, you know? Yeah. Okay, that's the news. Let's move on to the next match. It's Leeds. I'm going to say it now, and I'm going to divide some of our community here. I find it pathetic that we've sold so many tickets for this when there's been a call for boycott. I don't care if you don't agree with boycotts or anything. What is it going to take, guys? What is it going to take for you to realise that unless you actually follow the protests peacefully, unless you actually do something, then this man will continue taking the absolute mick out of your club and destroying it? And I go with my mates. It's part of my tradition. I get that. I respect that. But what I don't respect is the fact that you'll do that blindly just because you want to go and have a beer and watch it. Go and do the social thing. But follow the support of the trusts that are trying to put in place organised protests to make it so we are united as a fan base against this man. Don't give him any ammunition that some people are just going to go along anyway. I
will say this. The trust should have done something for Bolton as well then. If you're going to do it at one, you do it for all of them. You don't just do it because it's the home game.
I think it's a bigger statement with this though, Jake.
I agree.
Because Bolton was away, right?
It was away, but if you're turning around and say, don't go to this, you do it to all of them. You don't do it. You don't just do it because it's home.
I know what you're saying there, but let me show you the optics on this, Jake.
Hang on. I get why people are saying why we don't want people to go at home because he gets the money. I understand that. I get that. You don't put any more money in. You bleed him dry. The problem is people will have gone away to Bolton thinking it's okay to go to the League one. In some people's heads, they will have seen that. That will be their way.
I can bet you any money it's not the away fans that are at Leeds.
Yeah, probably not. But there'll be some...
Because they know what it's about. Well, most of them, not all of them. There will be still some that, I want my ticket points. But the reason is, right, look at the optics of Leeds, right? It's at home, which means the money directly affects Chancery. It's against Leeds United, which would usually call for a very big presence, even in a cup game, which would be relatively lower numbers as a rule of thumb. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
With it being Leeds United and Sheffield Wednesday, that would be a bigger draw that would sell a lot of tickets. The way the Trust have done it is to make a point of the size of that fixture, the fact that it would usually draw people, the fact that season ticket holders wouldn't have their normal way in, etc. It'd be a case of buying tickets for ticket points, all of that. This is a statement to keep that ground as empty as humanly possible and make the statement publicly, Jake. And that's where, and I know you don't disagree with this, by the way, I just need to make the point that is what they are doing. And that's why I'm disappointed with the people who are still bone idle when it comes to understanding that you won't have a club to go to if we allow this man to do what he wants with it.
Yeah. I'm all for protest. I'm all for doing what's happening. If we're going to do it, we need to be consistent with it. That's what I'm saying. If we're consistent with it, then we're great. Even though you'll get people
and I think we will be at home games. Bolton away is different because you're not putting the money directly into his coffers, mate.
Each club get 50%.
Not as much. Not as much, because if you think about the home tickets we'd sell for Leeds.
It's a 50-50 split in cup, mate. I've done the research.
Yeah, no, I know it's 50-50 split, but you're not, there's a limit away. Do you know what I mean? Whereas at the home ground.
If it's at home, you might buy a pie, you might buy a pint, you might buy something else. I get it. It's
Exactly. The
way it should have been, for me, friends and family of the players who are playing, and that's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
And then you could have even got it where you could have got Leeds to go to the Leeds Support Trust. Look, do you want to come or not? It's on a Tuesday night. Empty it out. Show him.
Oh, no, I tell you, but there is another thing as well, though. This is my suspicion as well, which is why I'm not trying to just dig out Wednesday fans. There's probably quite a few Leeds fans that are booked in that home end as well.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
Which I don't want to overlook because there will be that side of it, right? There's what I would actually end up quite liking is if it was more Leeds fans in there than Wednesday fans, which it's probably going to be.
Yeah. I think the annoying thing
that
is
says it all about the state of the club.
You just hope the players realise this isn't against them, and it's against him.
Oh God, no, they're not. They're not that stupid.
They're not that stupid. But you just had that whole thing. If it's going badly, where they go, oh, we could do with the fans. They're like, Ash, they're not here. They're not that daft. But you do have that whole thing where you think about it, where you go, I get wanting to support the young lads, and I get it. If you are a season ticket and you would pay for your ticket, you go support that team. You paid for it already.
Season ticket doesn't carry over in the cup, though, does it?
No, but I meant in general.
That's what I'm saying. This is why the trust could organise the protest in such a way, because you'd actually have to rebuy your ticket as a season ticket holder for the cup.
Yeah.
So
I think
this is even a.
It's something you put on Twitter the other day, which I agree with and I hate at the same time. It causing such a horrible mini civil war between the fan base, and it's doing what he wants, and I hate that. I absolutely hate that because it's giving him what he wants. He does it. He wants us split. He wants us divided, and it does my head in because there's so many people I like talking to. And at the minute, I can't because the headspace is different. Whatever you say is different. And you can't...
Yeah, and I'm not trying to turn it into you can't tell me what to do. Because there's always going to be those people there. But please, I'm just asking you to try not to be so dense when I'm saying just please actually do something this time. I don't buy the fact that some people think, it's just one voice, I'm not going to hurt anything. I actually have the stance that everybody's voice is important.
Yeah.
So if you're not using yours against this ownership, then you aren't helping. And I know people, it means a lot to people, but I'm actually thinking of the bigger picture of actually still having a club to go to in this state.
Yeah.
Because for the first, I'm telling you now, if we've got Chancery this time next year, this club for the first time ever could double drop into League Two.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I'm looking that far ahead. This man could break so many breaches that we could be disbarred from the league. This man could break so many breaches that we end up in a situation where we are facing a Bury directly in the face, right? Even Morecambe are sword now.
The thing is, this is where you hope everything with the regulation puts in place where they can like get it sold or find a way and go. The saving grace we got, because Morecambe are now saved, all the spotlight is on us. And
hopefully
by the way,
it keeps the pressure on.
Congratulations to Morecambe, much a thing. And yesterday,
I didn't agree with them sacking their manager though. That's just stupid.
I didn't agree with that,
owners.
no. But when you look at yesterday, first game back after everything that happened, and you get a 98-minute winner to win it, that just must have been amazing for their fans and everything.
Yeah, no, I'm happy for their fans. I'm not happy for the way the club have done treated that manager that stuck by him. But there we are. Right, we'll move on to Swansea because that'll be before the next pod. It's at home, and I have to say this statement.
James,
I only want to. Can I just finish? I want to see at Swansea only season ticket holders there, please.
Yeah.
I don't mind if you've already paid, and I know a lot of season ticket holders aren't going, but I can't be flippant with it and say, oh yeah, you can go to Swansea because it's a different thing. We've not necessarily got a protest organised. Don't go. And if you do go and they decide to do a protest at home at Swansea, season ticket holders that have paid and are there, take part. Sorry, Jake, you were saying.
What on that whole thing with Morecambe and their manager? Just remember, if anyone does come into Wednesday, that it potentially could happen with Henrik. Just warning you. New owners like to put their own stamp on stuff.
Which, again, I would understand a little bit more. For me, though, it was more of a case of like that manager was immediate. They didn't give him a chance. I would say the same thing if they didn't give Henrik a chance and Henrik was necessarily doing well. If Henrik necessarily, didn't show signs of, if there was tactical signs even through a bad time, then I would be able to question it. But yeah, Swansea, we might get battered again. Let's be honest. We're going into
it'll be the last.
We don't really have anything to say in what game's coming up, Jake, because we're in trouble.
Yeah, I think if we can just have the belief we got that we had in that Wrexham game, and we keep trying to use that never say die attitude, which Bailey in his interview made it very clear that's what we got. There's signs where we'll fight till the end until we can't fight no more, kind of thing. And even when we can't fight no more, we'll still go give it a good shot. I think
they drew against Watford in their first game. They beat the Pigs in the second game. They beat Crawley in the Cup, and then they lost against Middlesbrough last time out. They've got a game against Plymouth on Tuesday, and then they play us. So let's be honest, we're underdogs going into any game. But yeah, it'd be nice to see the boys scrap out a point, maybe scrap out all three. It'd be amazing, but we'll have to see what happens because clearly
I did see they were trying to do a teddy bear protest, and I don't know if that's happening or not. And this is
is that Swansea?
Yeah. And this is the kind of protest that I like because it's then giving back to the as well at the same time. It's putting spotlight on it, and it's also then giving back. I don't know.
It's peaceful.
Anything's happened.
It doesn't hurt anyone.
If they've had the go ahead or what, because I think if you do it peaceful and you show that things are going to charity, it makes him look even worse.
Yeah. I know this country's had a lot of things about protests and things like that. And I'm not going to get into all of that. But I think being able to peacefully protest for something you believe in has never been a bad thing. You don't have to agree with it, but somebody peacefully protesting for something they believe in is what free speech is meant to be all about. It's what coming together in football as a fan base is supposed to be all about.
Yeah.
And I really want to see this fan base get more united behind all this sort of stuff. I get disappointed when I see, what's the point in that? That sounds stupid, blah, 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 blah. Because I'm like, okay, but what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm not going anymore at all.
Yeah.
And you might say, you didn't go as much last season anyway. Yeah, that's true. I'd just moved house, but I was ready to get back into it. I'd changed job. I was going to be going more regularly again like I was before.
Have a look at my channel where this year's season kit reviews. They ain't there.
Yeah, exactly. It happens. Do your bit for it, and we will still have a club when that man finally goes. But Jake, that is all I'm going to say for this week's episode of Talking Wednesday. A very long one that started this morning and ends this evening. How are you? How are you feeling as we wrap this up? Anything to say?
Let's just stay together as one fan base. There's something on the back of our shirts that we all need to remember. We're all Wednesday, aren't we? And if we can live to that and push in the same direction, this man hasn't got a cat in hell chance of staying.
I agree. Take care, guys. We'll see you in the next episode of Talking Wednesday.
See ya.